So here's the thing. Over the last week or so, all of my contracts have either been indefinitely postponed or just straight up cancelled. And that, as you can imagine, is a huge problem. I'm assuming that many of you out there are facing something similar. If you're self-employed, if you're a photographer, you're probably having or facing something about the same as I am. And this is obviously not a small issue by any means. I know that there's been a lot of information online talking about how the pandemic or the virus is, this and that. And even I made some stupid comments about it as well. But regardless of what you think about the actual virus itself is irrelevant. The point is the impact on society and the financial system is very, very real. The impact on the financial industry, as you can see, the financial markets are pretty much tanking. People are literally losing contracts, and the income, the whole world's economy has suffered greatly. So the impact on society is very, very real, and that I think we should all be taking very seriously. Now, for me personally, I've got a little bit of time. So although my contracts have been cancelled, the way invoicing works is that I send someone an invoice and then 30 or 60 days later I get paid. So based on that, I've got about a month, maybe a month and a half before things start going really downhill. So I need to spend that time working and developing and trying to minimize this as much as I possibly can. So I've got a few thoughts on what to do, and I decided to make this video just to talk to you all and hopefully just do a little back and forth, maybe get some advice from you guys. Maybe I've got some points that are going to be useful to you, and hopefully we can just essentially just help each other and try and get out of this as best we can. So I've got a few suggestions. My first suggestion is take a look at your income streams. If photography is your only source of income, then that does put you at a disadvantage, and maybe really start looking at different ways of making money. And I know that seems obvious. I know that's such a basic thing to say, but honestly, just think about what you've got available, because chances are most of us have more than one source of income. Most self-employed people, in my view so far, generally tend to have more than one source of income. So personally, for me, for example, I've got YouTube, which pays a little bit. I mean, YouTube doesn't pay a lot. It pays like my travel expenses basically, and then I've got articles that I write for F-Stoppers, Peripixel and AP Almanac, and that generates a decent amount of income. And then I've got some other sources as well. So I'm relatively okay, but the main thing that I need to do more so than anything is adjust my lifestyle. So my lifestyle has been comfortable, I'd say. I mean, that's obviously not something that I can continue on with over the next few months, especially because my income has dropped so significantly, or will be dropping so significantly. So I do need to adjust my lifestyle, and I do need to cut back on a lot of costs, and that's something that I need to do. So my first suggestion is basically lifestyle. I mean, take a look at what your lifestyle is, take a look at your income streams, and try and match it based on the significantly lower income streams that many of us are potentially going to have over the next few months. I've worked out that I'm not probably going to make any money from photography up until September this year, which is a huge gap. It's a huge gap between now and then, and that is obviously a difficult thing to go through. So, work out your finances, be on top of the numbers, try and work out exactly how much your incoming and outgoings are. I mean, down to the penny. Work everything out. Be very, very particular about the numbers. If you're good with numbers and you're very specific about how much and everything in terms of all your income and all your expenditures, then you're going to be in a better position. And write it down. Write down the numbers so that you know exactly where you stand. Because once you know where you stand, you can start making some proper decisions about where and how much you can spend on food and groceries and budgeting effectively. So numbers. That's something that I highly recommend. Make sure you know exactly where you stand financially speaking. The other thing I would recommend is marketing tools. At the moment, my website hasn't been updated for the last 2 or 3 years, probably longer. And that is obviously not a great thing, because I've been working, just working along, and I've done so many contracts for loads of companies that I've gotten to know, and I haven't even bothered to put them on the website. So now, in this slow period, I'm going to be looking at my website. I'm going to be adjusting that completely. I'm going to be looking at my social media standpoint and just working on that, because that, I think, is really important. And the reason I say that is because once things start kicking back And once companies start hiring again, then you're in a better position. Your marketing tools are more effective. You can reach out and get potentially even better clients than you currently have right now, just by updating your marketing materials. And that includes social media, websites, and even your print portfolio. If you don't have a print portfolio, then maybe consider looking at one of them as well. That's something that I do recommend. Third thing is keep in touch with your clients. Like, actually care about how your clients are going through this as well, because your clients may not be self-employed, but they're still going through something similar, and they're going through this pandemic too. And I think that if you stay in contact with them and show that you genuinely care, don't be fake about it, because people can tell when you're being fake. But if you're demonstrating that you genuinely care about your clients, it's only going to help build your relationship with them, and that is obviously going to help you in the long term. So keep in contact with your clients. Just check in now and then, send them a message, make sure that they know that you're thinking about them as well, because like I said, they're going through something similar. And finally, my suggestion would be family. And this, I think, is probably one of the more important things. I know that I have a problem with managing my time with family, because I have to literally force myself to take a day off on occasions. And it's not because I'm like a workaholic or anything, it's just that I enjoy what I'm doing, and I'm sure that many of you out there who are self-employed, you enjoy what you're doing as well. So that's the struggle that I have on many occasions, where every week I have to force myself to find a day off, and every day in the evening I have to basically tell myself to switch off and start spending some more time with the family. And that is obviously a very important piece of your life as well, piece of my life too. And if your family life is not in a great position, then your self-employment and your business and your income is going to suffer. It's just what it is. They both go hand in hand. So I think in this time, when things are a little bit up in the air and you've got a little bit of time but a little bit of uncertainty as well, it's probably a good idea to spend a bit more time with the family. But yeah, those are my suggestions, some of my thoughts. Just, I know the structure in this video is a little bit off, so I apologize for that. But yeah, those are my thoughts. I'd love to know what you think as well. I mean, if you have any advice or suggestions or things that you think would be beneficial to people, who are in our community, then please feel free. I'd love to hear from you all, and hope to see you guys in the next one. Thank you.